All right, so we are continuing our coverage on the deadly shooting at the Gilroy Garlic Festival. Here's what we know right now. 3 people were killed in last night's shooting. 19 other people were hurt. Gilroy police confirmed the shooter has been identified as 19-year-old Santino William Legan. He was also killed by police. Just after 10 o'clock this morning, we got an update from Gilroy Police, the fire department, and the FBI about the suspect and the victims. Thank you for joining us. I'm Keristen Holmes.
And I'm Carley Gomez. Let's listen right now to some of that press conference.
As you know, yesterday afternoon, the city of Gilroy endured a tragedy that a very long night cannot erase. Mass gun violence is an epidemic in the United States, and yet one never imagined such a thing can happen here in our beautiful community.
The Gilroy Garlic Festival is an event that we put on every year, and we typically host between 80 and 100,000 people to our festival. It takes several thousand people a day volunteering to make this festival work.
We sent 4 engines, and for note, we only have 3 engines in the city of Gilroy, so we sent all of our resources as well as our South County neighbors.
I want to thank all of the agencies and all of the people that came to help. I don't even know how many people, but there was a lot. And when we put out the call for help, they came. I think any time a life is lost, it's a tragedy. But when it's young people, it's even worse. And it's very difficult. I don't know what, if any, association there is. It seems that this was a random act, but again, we've got a long way to go before we can come to a determination what his motivation was.
To have seen this event end this way, this day, is just one of the most tragic and sad things that I've ever had to see.
All right, so here is how it all happened. It was day 3 of the Garlic Festival. It's held in Gilroy at Christmas Hill Park. Police say the gunman had to use a tool to cut through the fence to get inside of the festival, and he bypassed security checkpoints. A band was just starting their last song of the night around 5:40 when those shots rang out.
We heard the truck in front of us get hit by bullets like 3 or 4 times, and then that's when my friend Gray was like, "Those are not fireworks, let's run," and then we just started running.
Police were on the scene at the festival already, and they say they were able to take down that shooter in just less than a minute. Carly.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the victims. Now, one of them was a 6-year-old boy. We've learned this morning his name is Stephen Romero. He had just celebrated his birthday last month. He was at the Garlic Festival with his family. His grandmother described him as a happy kid. She also spoke briefly about the gunman.
Has to be someone really sick because shooting a kid, and that's a family event.
Now, a number of victims are still being treated right now. A spokesperson tells us their conditions range from fair to critical.
All right, so if you've never been, the Gilroy Garlic Festival is a really big event. It draws anywhere between 80 and 100,000 people every summer. Members of the 10-man band who were just getting ready to play their last song described to us what they saw when those shots rang out. Listen.
And then he started shooting again in the direction of where all the food people were dining. It seemed, from my perspective, looked like he was just firing into the biggest bunch of people he could find.
Well, the shooting in Gilroy is making national headlines, and it's drawing reactions across the aisle. Now, Senator and presidential candidate Kamala Harris is simply horrific. I'm grateful to the first responders. She goes on to say our country has a gun violence epidemic that we cannot tolerate. Now, Governor Gavin Newsom also sent his support. This is nothing short of horrific. California stands with the Gilroy community.
All right, so we're going to continue to follow all the updates for you throughout the day.
And you can also head to abc10.com for raw interviews with witnesses and raw video from the scene. That's on our website, abc10.com/raw.
And if you want a link sent straight to your phone where you can find all of the updates from this deadly shooting, all you got to do is text the word Gilroy to 916-321-3310. You know, this is a story we're going to be covering for you all day. For more updates, stay with us on air and online at abc10.com. We now return you to regular programming.